strong or not. But the mind is like, if you imagine that this bicep not only would enable me to curl a muscle, but would actually enable me to do anything and everything that I ever wanted to in life. That's the way that the muscle of the mind works, not just strong or not, flabby or hard, macho or weak, but it actually is that which, as it grows, as it gets stronger, enables us to do everything. So just because the nature of the mind, no matter how much we know it makes us feel good, there are mornings where the mind is just like, I'm going to sleep in. Or, I don't feel like it, I'm just going to have my chai or coffee and get on with my day. And it's a tragedy, of course, because not only do we feel so much better on the given day from having done our meditation and yoga, but actually through doing it on a regular basis, it actually transforms us. So if I work out my biceps enough and I do enough curls, enough days in a row, I'll keep building a muscle. But the mind, when I keep working the mind through my meditation, through my yoga, through my seva, through my mantra jap, it not only gets bigger and bigger and stronger every day, but it actually changes us. It would be like if along with the bicep growing, your entire body transformed. That's how the mind is. It actually transforms our entire life. And so this is where discipline comes in. It's where making a vow with ourselves that I am going to meditate and do yoga every day. Every day. Even if I've only got 30 seconds. Occasionally there are mornings. You've got a flight to catch. It's an early flight. You were up late in the night. You just can't bring yourself to wake up at, 2 o'clock in the morning in order to have time to meditate before you have to leave to go to the airport. It's okay, it happens. But keep that vow, even if it's just a minute. You close your eyes and you do the meditation. Even if it's just bending over once and touching your toes, you've done a yogasana. And what's interesting is that you'll find is it's that first minute, that first asana that's the hardest to do. And if you make an absolute kuch bhi ho jai commitment that you will do 1 minute of meditation and 1 asana a day, what you'll find is that 1 minute leads into 5 minutes. The 5 minutes leads into 10. Because once you start it, then you begin to again taste how good it feels. Once you do 1 asana, it's very likely that 1 asana will lead into 2 asanas or 10 asanas, because you see how good it feels. But if not, if after 1 asana the body still says no more today, okay, you've done your yoga practice. For whatever reason, maybe that day was a 1 asana day. Okay. But just commit. Kuch bhi ho jai. 1 minute of meditation, 1 asana. And what you'll find is that not only will that transform your spiritual practice, but that will actually change how the mind works in so many other circumstances as well. We see it a lot of times also with things like junk food or exercise, right? We know that if we eat 5 laddus, we're going to have a tummy ache. But how many of us have ever done that, right? Raise your hand if you've ever eaten too many laddus or too many gulab jamuns or too many cookies, right? We've all done it. Raise your hand if you've done it more than one time in your life. We're unanimous. And what I love about the fact that not only have we done it once, but we've done it more than once is, the first time you could say, well, to mujhe malum nahi tha ki pet mein dard hoga. Right? I didn't know I was going to get sick the first time. I thought the 10th one would taste just as good as the first. Right? We know our stomach is going to hurt. We know that we're going to feel blech. But still we do it. Hopefully not too much. Hopefully we learn as we get older. Hopefully we did most of it when we were younger. But still, you have Diwali, you have a birthday, you have a holiday, you're out at your favorite restaurant. And what you'll find is that as you commit to this 1 minute of meditation, 1 asana a day, and I would add to that, the question didn't include it, but I would add 1 mantra of your japa. So 1 minute of meditation, 1 recitation of your mantra, 1 asana. Kul milake, we're looking at 1.5 minutes of your time. Nobody can say they don't have 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds of your life. So, if we make that commitment, not only will our meditation practice expand, because chances are you're going to sit longer than 1 minute. Our yoga practice will expand. Chances are we're going to do more than 1 asana. Our jap practice will deepen. We're not going to stop just with 1 mantra. Once you start, it keeps going. And it keeps going. But along with that, what you'll find is that your tendency to do things that also lead you to not feeling so good, like eating too much sweets, not exercising, staying awake too late, whatever it may be, you'll find that you stop doing that as well. Because as the mind, as this muscle gets stronger, it's not just the one way you've exercised it. It gets stronger in every way. So the whole nature of who you are starts to change. The whole nature of the way you move through the world starts to change. And suddenly there's more, I don't like the word discipline so much because it feels like we're in boot camp. Like spirituality is, like being in the army. And it's about doing push-ups till your arms hurt. And spirituality is not like that. So I don't like the word discipline. But for lack of a better word in the moment, we'll say you find that in general you are more disciplined, meaning not that you're doing things that you don't like, doing things that are painful just because at some point you're going to get a benefit from it, but rather you are doing things that may be against the flow of the general laziness, against the flow of the general complacency, against the flow of the general wrapping in the veil of Maya, against the flow of the general way that our culture is training us to be in terms of decadence and hedonism and all about sort of life as a show. You'll find that you're able to not get caught up in any of those flows, and rather to live all of the choices of your life from a place of grounding, a place of consciousness, a place of you as the decision maker, rather than some energetic flow that comes in and steals your sadhana. And so you get stronger, you get more anchored, you get more clear. And as you get more anchored and more clear, all of your decisions start to become in alignment with not only that which makes you feel happy and good in the moment, but actually that which is deepening your path, bringing you exactly where you want to be going. If anyone here has any questions, I'd be happy to take it. Yes, here.
Thank you for everything. So my understanding of life changed along the way, where I understood about Maya and perception and us creating our reality, where everything is a reflection of what we feel inside. But it gets confusing at times. It gets like you go back in the Maya and you get consumed by it, and then you much later realize the Maya and come back to your true nature. But that's very rare. Most of the time we are in the Maya, of wanting more or chasing things, or even emotion, anger and things like that. So I just wanted to hear from you, how do we stay more connected to our true self?
Beautiful. So, Maya grabs us when we are unconscious, when we are not aware in that moment, not fully present in that moment. Right? Right now, as we sit together in satsang, or as you sit on the banks of Ganga, in the arti, or meditating, even if someone came up to you and started poking you, right? You wouldn't lose yourself. Even if right in front of you somebody flashed a big sign that said, "Shop now, shop now." Right? If right over my head suddenly a sign was going that said, "Shop now," you're not going to get up and rush out. Because you're here, you're present, you're conscious. And you're aware, I don't need anything right now. But the Maya, that veil of Maya, swoops over us when we are not present. We're moving through our lives busy, distracted, multitasking, stressed. Our minds are elsewhere. We're worried about the future, worried about the past. My God, I can't believe I just said that in the meeting. Everybody must think I'm so stupid. What's going to happen in the next meeting? Am I going to lose my job? So I'm not present. My body may be walking from point A to point B. My body may be sitting here. But I'm not actually here if my mind is in the past and in the future. Or if I'm sitting here multitasking and I'm talking to you and I'm messaging on my phone. And I'm, also talking to this person over here and also talking to this person here. I'm not present. Tragically, we've gotten to a point where we almost worship people's ability to multitask. We worship busyness. And that's beautiful when what we are doing is allowing the flow of the divine to flow through us. And so we are busy in the way that a flower is busy giving fragrance, or a tree is busy giving apples, or Ganga is busy flowing. But what's happening these days is much more of a frenetic busyness without really any cause. So we've become very, very busy. But if you follow someone who's really busy, and an hour later you stop them and you say, okay, just give me 30 seconds. What actually have you achieved in the last 1 hour? I've been following you. I've been watching you as you multitask things for an hour. What actually has been the result of that hour? Most people won't be able to tell you. Because the busyness is in reaction instead of in action. So what have you accomplished? I've responded to every text message that has arisen. I've read every WhatsApp that has come. Right? I've seen all my notifications. I've liked a bunch of posts. I've commented on a bunch. I've clicked here, tapped here. Life has become about reaction instead of action. So instead of moving as per what we have decided are the goals, are the tasks at hand, we give up that freedom, we give up that autonomy, we give up that vision, and we spend most of the day from morning till evening simply reacting to that which happens around us. And whether it's a live person saying something to us, looking at us in a certain way, treating us in a certain way, whether it's our devices beeping and blinging and buzzing and vibrating and whatnot, whether it's the TV, we are constantly reacting to things. So we're very busy because things continue to come at us, but we're not actually moving forward. And I mention all of this when you speak about Maya because Maya grabs us when we are unaware. Maya's not like a tiger who, whether you are aware that the tiger's there or not aware of the tiger's there, he's going to get you anyway. Tiger doesn't care. But Maya loses her ability to get us if we are aware. She can only grab us when we are unaware. And our unconsciousness arises very nicely in the soil of distraction. The more distracted we are, the less conscious we are. And the less conscious we are, we fall victim to Maya. And so the solution is stay conscious. Now, of course, it doesn't mean never text anybody or never read messages or don't look at your phone. It doesn't mean that. It just means whatever you are doing, do it consciously. Stay grounded, stay anchored, stay aware, stay present. Whether I'm drinking water, eating food, having a conversation, working on the computer, sending a message, walking, whatever you are doing, brushing your teeth, having a shower. How to do it? Mindfully, consciously. The more conscious you are, Maya can't get you. And the moment that you notice that you've gotten swept up in Maya, the moment that you actually look at her, she dissipates. And so no matter how much she's wrapped herself around you, the moment you look and you say, oh, okay, I've gotten stuck. And you anchor back. You come back to your meditation, back to your japa, back to your mantra, back to your breath, back to your truth. And Maya dissipates then. And this is where so many spiritual traditions focus on a practice of mindfulness, whatever we're doing. As we move through our lives, more isn't necessarily better. Meaning in terms of this multitasking thing. A lot of times giving your full attention, your full awareness to the moment at hand, not only is much better for you spiritually and emotionally, but it's actually much more effective and productive. A lot of us think incorrectly that if I only do one thing at a time, and I actually pay attention, and I'm actually mindful, oh my God, nothing will get done. I'll fall behind. I won't be able to accomplish anything. What about my very long list? But that's the illusion. Because when we are distracted, we are not efficient, not effective, and it actually takes us a lot longer to do things. So coming back to mindfulness, back to awareness, back to one thing at a time, back to autonomy. Just because my phone is vibrating doesn't mean that I have to abandon whatever I'm in the middle of doing and attend to it. If you have a live human baby, or even a live animal baby, who starts to scream and cry, you need to attend to it. Those are life and death circumstances. It could really be in trouble. But when our phone starts to scream, we don't actually have to attend to it with quite as much immediacy as we would to a baby who was screaming. And so, for your spiritual practice, for your emotional health, and for the simple ability to actually achieve what you are looking to achieve in your life, slow down. Focus. Stay conscious. Stay grounded. Stay anchored. And you'll find that that will help to keep Maya away. And the moment, again, that you notice her, call her by name. Hi, Maya. Right? Again, she functions in obscurity. As a veil that wraps itself around us, we're not supposed to be able to see her. She has covered our vision and is showing us illusion as truth. But the minute that we are able to actually see the veil as a veil, the veil as the Maya, and call her by name, hi Maya, thanks for dropping by today. But you know what? I actually was doing so great. I'll let you know if I need you. Thanks for coming by, but you know, this havoc that you've just brought into my family, totally unnecessary. We're gonna just open the door to the home right now, send you on your merry way, and we're gonna go back to being conscious. Maya, this hijacking that you've done of my mind, I'm gonna very lovingly but very strongly rather, I'm gonna just take my mind out of your hands if you don't mind. I'm gonna just extricate myself from your grip. Speak to her. Because remember, she functions as this veil. But if you can start actually seeing the veil as a veil and recognize it has been draped over your eyes, then it doesn't hold nearly as much power. And when you notice, like with the shawl or any kind of veil, that if I really start to look at it rather than at this space that it's draped inside of it, if I actually start to look at the veil as a veil, I start to be able to see through it a little bit. Even while it's still there, even before she leaves. If you look at the veil, you start to be able to see a little bit through it. You can see the light coming through. Maya tries to convince us that there is no reality beyond her veil, that this is the reality, that like this is my world now in here. But the moment I recognize that there is this shawl, and I'm looking at the shawl and then through the shawl, then I start to be able to find a way to get it down. Okay? Beautiful. Yes, you and then you.
Hello, my second question. I was wondering what you do on a 24-hour daily basis, because maybe it's a bit personal, but for me it's really hard when should you eat, if you should plan your day, what you should do, and you can deviate from your original plan, but where should you begin?
Okay, beautiful. So, Pujya Swamiji always says, failing to plan is planning to fail. So I absolutely think we should plan our day. But in addition to planning our day, what I find very helpful is to have a timetable. Otherwise, time seems to slip through your fingers. Now, in my life, as in all of our lives, many, many unexpected things arise every minute and every moment. So that timetable should be a guide, not a jail. It's not, oh, this is my dinner time. Oh, but this is the same time the President of India is arriving. Well, okay, you can just make him wait in the reception. Right? Obviously, one adjusts a dinner time, a meditation time, a work time, a meeting time, whatever time it may be, when the President of India arrives. Right? Now, I realize that's an extreme example. But one of the challenges, but one of the most important pieces of life is figuring out how to really determine which unexpected things are those which are worth you adjusting your plan and which are not. Because something's going to happen every day. Something's going to happen every hour. If we allow every shift in the wind to change our schedule, we'll never follow it. And yet, absolutely, there are times where things have to be adjusted. So, for example, for me, so I get up very early. I have an early morning meditation program. I do japa. And yet, there are times when I'm traveling really early in the morning. If I'm on a really early morning flight, there used to be a 6:30 train. Maybe it still is there. I tend to go by car or flight these days. But there used to be a 6:30 train I used to take a lot from Haridwar. So to catch the 6:30 train, you had to be out of here by 5 a.m. So on a day like that, I'm going to have a shorter morning practice. Alternatively, I could get up at 2:30 or 3. But having compassion for oneself, having the ability to be flexible, and to say, okay, so I'm going to do, say, half my practice here before I leave, and then